chapter 7 of Proverbs has a story. It's a very short story with a great truth. And it talks about a young man who is walking down the street, and he comes to a crossroads with a heavy decision to make. And the story is being told by a person who's looking out his own window of his own house. And he sees the young man coming, and he sees him come to that place to where he's got to decide which road he's going to take. And the road that he describes as being the road to hell is the road, as it says, to her house. And your own imagination can take it from there. But this leads me to a truth that we find in the Proverbs, and that's what we're doing this week. We're just going through the Proverbs, and we're finding these wonderful truths. And it has to do with a relationship between a father and his child. Now, this can be a young man, or it can be a young woman. I think most people would think if it was a young woman, that the mother may want to have this conversation. But from a father to a son, absolutely. And the expression is many times is, have you had the talk? Have you had the talk with your child, with your son or your daughter? And most people would say, oh no, not the talk. And unfortunately, there are often times when the parents don't have the talk. And so a young person is left to their own understanding. And the writer of the Proverbs tells us how destructive that can be. Because young people, when they are very, very young, are subject to so many things that are coming after them, because of the changes in their own bodies and the things that they're experiencing. It's all new to them, and they're exploring it, and they're trying to figure it all out. And then they have so much coming at them from the secular media. And then it's their friends and their influences in their lives. And it's often very, very destructive, and it leads to destruction. And so a young person has to have another voice that's explaining to them the dangers that are before them. Literally a landmine that they're going to be walking through. And so often, young lives are destroyed, are altered in such a way that it brings much pain, not only to themselves, but to others as a result of their actions. And then you consider this. A person is a young person perhaps has grown up in church all their lives, and they've heard about God, but yet the things that's being displayed before them has so much more allure to them because it's crying out to the carnal person. And that's why the instruction from those who love them and the open conversation is so very, very vital. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.